How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. As the thumbnail suggests, we've got a bunch of news from Bethesda. We've got the Unity saga still going on pretty strong. It actually is getting worse. We have news of Elder Scrolls 6 pretty much confirming what we already knew. Well, let's get into it. Since launch, Bethesda have released Starfield without DLSS support. So now they did give the game to someone else, a modder who basically created a DLSS mod before the game even came out. And it actually works really well. Now the FSR implementation for NVIDIA graphics cards and Intel graphics cards just isn't there. It's not great and it doesn't perform very well. And those people that are on NVIDIA graphics cards or on Intel graphics cards are having a bit of a problem, especially if you're not using the new mod for the DLSS. Well, the good news is that Starfield finally to get DLSS, Bethesda confirms. Along with that, you're going to be getting a brightness and contrast controls, HDR calibration menu, a FOV slider, of course, all important DLSS support. You're going to get 32 by 9 ultra wide monitor support and a eat button for food. I'm not really sure what that is, but all of this is supposed to be coming in an upcoming patch, and with that, hopefully, it will actually improve the way the game works. So keep an eye out on the Bethesda social media site for when this patch is going to go live, or just stay here and I'll update you as soon as it is live. So the question about Elder Scrolls 6 being an exclusive or not an exclusive, will it be on PS5 or PS6? Will it not be? That question has been going around for quite some time. However, new information reveals that Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox exclusive and has a 2026 earliest release date. Now, as we scroll down, we get to see this image here, and this is what was shown during the court case during the FTC trial. Now, a lot more is actually coming out as the restrictions are being lifted. Now, as you can see here, Deathloop was not an existing IP, as well as Ghostwire, Starfield, Redfall. But when it comes over here, released on PlayStation, you got Deathloop, yes, you got Ghostwire, yes, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, but Starfield, Redfall, and Elder Scrolls 6 is on this during the FTC trial confirmed not to be coming to PlayStation. And as we can see here, it says to be confirmed, but expected 2026 or later. It could be later. 2026 does seem a little early, especially considering it's giving them 3 years. But if they've got the tools and have done the groundwork already, it's possible. But at the end of the day, this over here pretty much confirms that the game will be an Xbox exclusive, which isn't, to anyone's surprise. And I don't think the majority of PlayStation fans should be upset about this, considering after Starfield, pretty much unanimously, they did not want a single Bethesda game on their platform. So I don't think PlayStation fans should be minding or should be getting salty about this. And if they do, they're a bunch of hypocrites. But in the event that they don't, well, everyone is happy, right? Right, so now we move over to Unity. Unity's runtime fee scheme sees game devs shut off Unity ads and employees turn in resignations. It's getting pretty crazy out there, but this whole Unity saga is now enticing a boycott. The runtime fee is an unacceptable shift in our partnership with Unity that needs to be immediately cancelled, reads part of the open letter from the studios. And this is what we have here. The Mega Crit team has been hard at work these past 2 years on a new game, but unlike with Slade Aspire, the engine we have been developing it in is Unity. The retroactive pricing structure of runtime fees is not only harmful in a myriad of ways to developers, especially indies, it is also a violation of trust. We believe Unity is fully aware of this, seeing as they have gone so far as to remove their terms of service from GitHub, which is mental, right? That's disgraceful. Despite the immense amount of time and effort our team has already poured into development on our new title, we will be migrating to a new engine unless the changes are completely reverted and terms of service protections are put in place. We have never made a public statement before. This is how badly you effed up. Unity employees are also displeased with the company's decision, according to reports from a former senior software engineer who tendered his resignation earlier this week and claims that employees who tried to fight back against the decision have already left. So not only have people within the company tried to tell them that this is a bad idea, do not do this, this is bad for business, this is bad for developers, this is bad for gaming, this is bad for the industry. The suits just did not care. All the suits saw was give me the money. Money, 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 money. That's all they saw. And they didn't give a rat's monkey's ass about anything else. I assure you, we fought the hell against this, but brought up all the points everyone has. We're told answers were coming, and then the announcement went out without warning, he writes. Those of us who care are out. More resignations coming end of week. And I don't really think the Unity care. All they're seeing is less people to pay and more people to crunch as they try to turn this around and maintain that level that they are going with. Employee displeasures appears to be the root cause of the credible death threat that Unity cited as a reason to shut down multiple offices and cancel a town hall meeting yesterday. Was there actually a death threat? I'm not going to say that there wasn't because I don't want to downplay this, but this, with it coming from Unity, I think at this point I'm going to call it an excuse. I hope it's not an excuse, and if it is actually credible, the ones that are issuing a death threat, regardless of the situation, you suck, right? You plain and utterly suck if you are actually doing this. But in this occasion, I wouldn't put it past Unity to actually go as far as fake this so they don't have to appear in front of people, right? Because there's a reason for that, because they're going to issue a public apology, and they have, as we'll see in a second. Now, of course, as we see here, Unity issues an apology, says it'll do the things it should have done in the first place. Unity, the company behind the popular video game engine of the same name, caused a stir last week by announcing a drastic change in its pricing model. So drastic that people are wanting to change engines. Widely regarded as completely unfair and borderline illegal, the announcement had players, developers, and publishers alike jump onto the barricades. On September 18, 2023, Unity posted a statement on social media containing a rather vanilla PR apology that really doesn't say all that much. And it says, I'll get to it in a sec, but what I want to go to first is what Cohen said, Cohen Carnage, one of the most respected streamers on Twitch, summarized what many other people thought upon reading the post. We have heard you. We have not listened to you. Here is a bunch of marketing talk to make you think we're doing something when in actuality, we're just figuring out how to keep doing what we've already decided to do. Thanks for your honest and critical feedback. What, seriously? So what did they actually say? What was it that they actually said in their apology? Let's have a look. So here you go. We have heard you. We apologize for the confusion and angst the runtime fee policy we announced on Tuesday caused. We are listening. Talking to our team members, clearly their team members have been telling them, do not do this. This is a bad idea. This is bad for devs. This is bad for the business. This is bad for the industry. No one cared. They've been speaking to the community. Clearly the community are telling them to reverse this decision. We've had Jeff Keighley, Opera GX here as well. So many people turning around and telling them, reverse this decision. It is BS. Customers and partners. I assume partners at this point are also telling them, you're doing a really, really bad thing here, right? Especially someone like MiHoYo. And we'll be making changes to the policy. So they're not reverting the decision here. No. They're not reverting the decision here. They're making changes. So what they're going to do is pretty much what Cone Carnage actually said. They're going to go back, reword what they've written to make it sound, easier to palate. Then they're going to retract a little bit from the actual, the fees and the values and the statements that they made and say, look, this is what we originally set out to do, but we're willing to meet you halfway and ask for this. Now, what people need to understand is that could be the original end game from the very beginning. Ask for something totally unreasonable, create a massive, media outcry, and then pull back and say, look, well, we're not that greedy. We'll meet you halfway. And maybe that was their original goal all along. So, in my opinion, people should continue to boycott this silly thing. Do not invest in Unity and just stay as far away as possible until they revert this policy. It is really, really bad for developers. One developer I saw that I read about, if they worked out from last year, because they make children's apps for education, and they don't do like microtransactions. Well, they do microtransactions, but they don't do any ads in their game for kids because ads are intrusive. So all they do is get that microtransaction for like new levels of study and stuff like that. And they worked out, in order to be able to pay the fees that this company, this Unity, actually wants, they would have to pay back 109% of their profits. That's ridiculous. That's over 100%. That's their profits and then some. Like, there's no excuse for this. This is crazy. We will share an update in a couple of days. Basically, they're right now trying to get as many lawyers on board to try and make this more palatable. Thank you for your honest and critical feedback. This is bull. Now, what they need to do, what really needs to happen right now, is MiHoYo needs to come out. And I'm referring to MiHoYo because they are huge. They burst onto the scene. Then I think they made like, what, 5 billion in 6 months for Genshin Impact. I think they're one of the fastest companies to hit that number, right? So they are huge, and Unity wants that MiHoYo money. That's where I think this is coming from. They seen the success of Genshin Impact. They've seen it from Honkai Star Rail, and Zenizone Zero's on its way as well. That's going to be another huge success, right? So they're seeing this money. What MiHoYo needs to do, Hoyoverse, is basically say, right, if you don't change this, we've got the funds to go back and change the engine and say, screw you, Unity, we are out. And sure, for the interim, Unity will be making that money while they work on changing the engine. Be 2 months, 3 months, maybe 6 months. I'm pretty sure Hoyoverse is not going to wait 6 months. They're going to be hiring and working as fast as possible to make that shift to a new engine. But if they make that threat, Unity will reverse what they're saying. You need companies like Hoyoverse of that stature to come out and make those threats. Because the moment they do, and they actually start to push forward with it, that is when you're going to see Unity actually take a step back and go, you know what? We actually could be in real financial trouble here if we don't actually sort ourselves out. We need to kind of like take a step back, apologize to them, revert what we said, try to mend the bridges that we've burned, and try to rebuild that trust that we've clearly lost. And maybe they'll never be able to build that trust again after the shit they've pulled here, especially with removing their terms of service from GitHub. That's just bad, right? That's just bad. But hopefully, the companies, the dev teams, the indies, the high AAA grade publishers and devs will actually band together and actually fight this and show them that they cannot be bullied into this. That is what I would love to see. You let me know in the comment section below what you think. What do you think of the Elder Scrolls announcement, the new updates coming to Starfield, and what's your view on this Unity? Are they crazy? Do you support them? I mean, this is bad. I mean, Asmongold here, you're not going to get off this like some BS video game apology with weak-willed gamer nerds. People need to build a future with a design engine, and the trust is already broken. No one is going to build a castle on sand after your BS. It's really sad as someone who has been building a game in Unity for like 3 months, not long enough to justify continuing, very demoralizing and makes me not want to bother trying with a new engine either. Unity was unique too in that it was designed to be used with C#. Like, it's crazy. Now, Jeff Keighley here says, let's see the changes. I don't think we want to see them. I agree with failed heatsink because the wording that they use clearly indicates that what they're doing is rewording it, pulling the reins back a little, but they're still going ahead with it. They're not going to revert 100%. And what they need to do is that reversion of 100%. Hopefully we'll get to see it, but I just have no faith that they'll do that. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion. And as always, remain a legend.